Hello, this is my module for being a club president at St. Vincent College. When students are sent this module, they will learn how to be a president for their club. That includes creating a binder, planning and executing events on campus, and also understanding their role as president specifically to their club. So this is the beginning. We have a help button right here and a menu button. So they'll click the menu button. Select where you'd like to start, so they can either start with my club and my role, goal setting, creating a club binder, planning and executing events on campus. I'd like them to start with goal setting, so I would indicate that in my email to them where I send this module and ask them to complete it. I would hope that they would start with goal setting because I think that it will really center them before they start learning about this. So, goal setting. This is something that I'd like them to write down. I'm hoping to have each club president have kind of a working journal or a notebook to write down their ideas, keep their thoughts, and set these goals. So they'll be able to set these goals first, and then they'll go back to the menu. When you go to My Club and My Role, in this section we will review your club's constitution to learn about the history of the club and your role as president. So then they'll go to the next slide, and they can either start with president's roles or club's constitution. In club's constitution, they're alphabetized. So if I'm the accounting club, then I'll click this button, I'll go accounting club, and then it will open up my club constitution, and I'll be able to write what I've learned about what it means to be a president of that club. So then if we go back to menu, so then we're back on this menu. After they open up their constitution, then they'll go back here and they'll learn about president roles. So as a club president, you are a part of the Council of Presidents, which is a council that meets monthly. You also need to know the club manual pretty well if you're going to be a successful president, and then staying connected. So clubs are encouraged and actually required to be a part of the Outlook group and also the GroupMe group that I used to keep in touch with them. The previous graduate assistant also used that, so I think that everything in this module is not specific to my role as graduate assistant, but all graduate assistants follow kind of the same skeleton, so I think that this can be used even after I move out of this position. So next, they'll look at Council of Presidents, and this is kind of the main key ideas for the Council of Presidents. So then their next slide is a quiz all about those ideas. And then when they go back to menu, they'll go to My Club, My Role, President Roles. The club manual opens up a separate page, but it's a PDF document that they should be familiar with, but it's a good kind of reminder. And then staying connected. So this is reminding them to turn their notifications on for both the GroupMe and Outlook groups. So then we'll go back to My Club, My Role. We completed that, so now creating a binder. In this section, we will walk through the steps to make your virtual club binder. The club binder is really important to clubs. It's how they earn their funding. They have to complete multiple parts, and each part equals a certain dollar amount that then they receive once they complete that part. So when they go next, officers and advisors, this is the first part. This is a very simple document. So they will do their advisor, president, vice president, treasurer, secretary. So then we'll go back to binder contents. Then they can do club roster. This is important because a club roster must have 15 students to be a club, and they also need to include the class year so that when the graduate assistant is reviewing binders, they can see, oh, there's a lot of senior people in this club. What is the future of the club looking like? And that's kind of a chat that the graduate coordinator can have with the president to kind of do that goal setting component. Constitution. Constitutions are written when a club is created, so no club should have to write a constitution every semester unless they're changing their constitution. When they change it, they need to update the ratification date. Proposed budget. This is a simulation that they can click on. So this is like my ledger says I have $750 in my club account. What does that mean? So then they kind of define what ledger means and what it means to have that dollar amount. This simulation is pretty cool. It walks you through creating a budget, which many club members struggle with because they might not have had to do that before. So I think the simulation is really helpful. Detailed events. This is an example of what that should look like. Each club needs 2 club-specific, 1 service, and 1 campus-wide event. So this is kind of the detail that we're looking for. Then past semesters events, very similar to detailed events. For the upcoming semester, you do the same for past semester. You say, this is what we did last semester, this is when it happened, this is how many people showed up, and this is how it went. And then analysis of past expenses. I included this budget, but once they complete the simulation for detailed expenditures, then they will know how to do the analysis of past expenses, because each semester your detailed expenses are then your past expenses. And so once a club president is in the role and completes at least 1 binder, the second time around it's much easier. But I think that this is good for both new club presidents and returning club presidents. It's a great reminder, a good refresher, because this is only completed once a semester. So when you only have made 1 of them, then it doesn't hurt to have a good refresher before you make your second one. So then that is all of the binder details. So then we'll go to planning and executing events on campus. There's an interaction here. This is taking them through where to look for things on the portal to submit those forms, saying this is the event that I want to do, this is where I'd like it to happen, this is what it's about. So this interaction goes through the portal that the students go on to get these forms. So then, and then this is an interaction about reservable spaces. So it's an interactive map of St. Vincent College's campus, and they can kind of scroll over the buildings, and it'll say, like, this is a great building for a large event. This building has access to a projector, and it's great for a movie night. So it kind of says a little highlight about each space, or at least some of the more popular spaces. So there's also a space on campus that is really good for like having a dinner or a conference. So I scrolled over that and indicated that there. So then next, this is just learning what these event types mean. A service event might look like going with club members to work at the Latrobe Soup Kitchen. A fundraiser might look like creating a t-shirt, selling the shirt, and depositing the money into the club account. So it's kind of just examples of what that might look like. So then if they're not sure what kind of event they're planning, they can refer back to this and say, oh, my event is really similar to that, so it must be a fundraiser. And then this is a quiz just about those events. So that is my module. And then this is the quiz that kind of encompasses all that they might have learned in this. It gives me great feedback to see if there's any updating that needs to be done. The real test that they understood this is the semester that they lead as president. So my role is really interactive with the students. I'm able to touch base with them regularly and kind of understand what they need help with, what they're struggling with. But I think that this is a really good way to kick off this semester and get them focused on their role as president, how to create a binder, and planning and executing events on campus, which are the 3 main duties of a club president. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope this was helpful. Thank you.